Hi guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel. Now this is our weekly review of the Championship games over the weekend. So we start with Friday, we've got Saturday's games, and Sunday we've got a look at the league table. Yes, I'm grinning at the moment. And obviously I've got my card in with me because obviously Reading won again. So let's start, guys. On the Friday, it was the live game on the channel between Coventry City and Queen's Park Rangers. Now, both those sides, they battled hard, they played well. We watched the stream live over on Ben's channel. Hopefully you guys were able to come over and join in with us over there and have a good laugh, because it was fun. So obviously Queen's Park Rangers have taken the lead through a penalty. It caused a lot of debate on the live stream over on Ben's channel. You know, was it, wasn't it? Would VAR have given it, wouldn't they? And yeah, my opinion, a little bit on the harsh side, but it's a penalty and it was scored. Then Queen's Park Rangers have literally let their guard down, and 3 minutes later Coventry have equalised. Then in the second half Coventry have turned it round on 50 minutes to go 2-1 ahead. And then on the 75th minute Queen's Park Rangers have scored themselves, and then with 15 minutes to go it's set us up for a really good ending, and sure enough a winning goal from Coventry. So that result obviously put Reading top, and Queen's Park Rangers dropped down in the table to 12th, and obviously over the weekend the results pushed them down. For Coventry, they end the weekend in 13th, so pretty good there. So we move into Saturday, guys, and the first game we've got here is Blackburn Rovers 5, Wycombe Wanderers 0. For Wycombe, it wasn't the result they wanted. I'm hoping they don't become the whipping boys of the Championship when they play the bigger sides, because it'll be unfair on their fans and unfair on them. But in this game, they were just outclassed. Blackburn did a really, really good job. But they will get some wins and they will do well. But for Blackburn, it was a great result. They've taken the lead on 16 minutes through another penalty. There's quite a few of them around this weekend. They've then gone 2-0 up on the 20th minute. The third goal came on 33. Then in the second half, 67th from Williams, and Armstrong completed his hat-trick on the 83rd minute, 5-0. So yeah, not the best result for Wycombe, but for Blackburn it's another good result. That leaves Blackburn in 10th position, and Wycombe 23rd on 0 points. Obviously Sheffield Wednesday are below them on -8. So we move on to Brentford versus Huddersfield. Now obviously this is the first game at Brentford's new stadium, and it's a shame that there was no one there to see this. It was a 3-0 win for Brentford. Another poor result for Huddersfield. Okay, it's only 2 games in, no one's getting carried away yet, but you worry that maybe it's not going to be the best season for them. But there's time for everything to turn. We can lose our next 2, they can win their next 2. Anything's possible in the Championship. For Brentford, they've taken the lead on 58 minutes from De Silva. Then they've gone 2-0 up on 86, and then in the 90th minute have made it 3-0 to rub a little bit more salt into that open wound. So for Huddersfield, that leaves them 4th bottom on 0 points, and for Brentford, that takes them to 11th. So not too bad to begin with. So then next game up is Luton 2, Derby County 1, a result that I don't think anybody saw coming. And this is my result of the weekend. I think for Luton, it's a fantastic win. For Derby, that's 2 defeats. Obviously, they lost to us last weekend, and this weekend have lost to Luton. Luton have had a fantastic start. Obviously, they won their first game against Barnsley. They've then beaten us in the Cup, and now they've gone and won away at Derby. So Luton are definitely looking a lot stronger than people have given them credit for. And I believe they're up against their rivals Watford next, so that's going to be a pretty good game. So yeah, obviously Luton have taken the lead on 34 minutes through Berry. Then Derby have equalised on 52 through Marriott, and the winner came on the 87th minute for Luton from Clark. So what does that do? Well, Luton finished the weekend in 3rd. They're one of 3 teams with 100% records. Bristol City and Reading are the other 2. We'll get onto those in a minute. So they're 3rd with 6 points. For Derby County, of course, it leaves them in 19th. So not the best result for them. So we move on, guys, to Middlesbrough versus Bournemouth. Now, this is a game I actually predicted correctly, I think, in my predictions 1-1. Middlesbrough have played really well. Bournemouth, the same, and I think that both teams have cancelled each other out here. For Middlesbrough, they've gone behind in the 38th minute through Solanke, and then Middlesbrough have equalised in the 81st minute. 1,000 fans were allowed into this fixture as we're creeping towards getting fans back. So let me know in the comments if you were one of those 1,000 people that were there and what your experience was like with all the things that have been put in place to keep you guys safe at the football. For Middlesbrough, that leaves them in 17th, and for Bournemouth, that leaves them after the weekend in 4th position on 4 points. So, Norwich City 2, Preston North End 2. Interesting, this game. Two sides that are definitely going to be up there come the end of the season. Preston have taken the lead in this one on 14 minutes through a penalty. That's getting a repetitive sentence. Norwich have equalised on 31 through Pukki, who else? And 42nd minute, Preston have gone 2-1 up, so at half-time they're leading. And then Norwich have scored in the 85th minute from Emmanuel to make it a nervy last 5 and try to get that win. But it finished 2-2 in that game. For Norwich, that leaves them in 5th after 2 games. For Preston, they find themselves in 16th. So early contrasting for both of those teams going into next weekend's games. Next up, Nottingham Forest versus Cardiff City. Now, Cardiff have won this game by 2-0, and that is not the start that Nottingham Forest fans were hoping. They've played 2 now, and they've lost both of them, conceding 4. Lost 2-0 last weekend, and lost 2-0 this weekend. So they're not going to be overly happy. Derby fans are happy with it, because if they're going to lose, bring them with them. For Cardiff, it's a really good start. So that's a great result for them. So Cardiff find themselves in 14th with 3 points after their defeat to Sheffield Wednesday last weekend. And Nottingham Forest, of course, find themselves third bottom on 0 points. So, guys, we move on to Reading versus Barnsley. Cheers, Reading. As I promised, I will drink on camera if Reading win. Starting to regret it. I might be pissed by half-time. No, the reason I said this, I had a tweet. For those of you that didn't see the video last week, I was tweeted and a guy said, wouldn't it be funny, because I didn't think Reading were going to have a good season, and he was confident, and he goes, look, you know what, every time Reading win a game in this season and you review it on your channel, you have to have a drink while you're doing it. So fair enough. I said, yeah, why not? It's a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And so far, 2 games in the league anyway, and it's 2 wins. So obviously there's going to be some videos where we draw or we lose. I won't need to. We don't need to. But obviously at the moment, without getting carried away at all, which I'll come on to, it's nice. So cheers. And it's Carlin again, if anyone's wondering. So yeah, Reading 2, Barnsley 0. Doesn't tell the full story. I've watched a lot of reports. Ben, he went to the game. Lucky person. Yeah, it was a bit of probably one of Reading's worst performances. From what I'm hearing, a lot of the fans weren't happy. I watched it on iFollow. It wasn't our best. It really wasn't. We looked shaky. We couldn't get passes together. The movement didn't look great. Barnsley played really well. They threatened on occasions. They made our goalkeeper, Raphael, pulled off some great stops. So it doesn't tell the full story. Then what's happened is Barnsley have been kind of the masters of their own downfall, in a sense. They've received 2 red cards, and that's obviously changed the game. The first red card, yeah, you can't really deny it. It was a clear red. If it had been a Reading player, I'd be saying the same thing. And then, we've taken advantage. The corners come in. It was a bit of a scrappy goal, but a nice header from Yaku Mate at the back post, and he's back among the goals. Then, obviously, there's the second red card, and that opens the play up a bit more. Caught another corner, has come across, bounced out, and Elise. I mean, he's a youngster. It's his debut, and what a goal! I mean, he hit this on the volley with his left foot, and it flew. Very biased, but for me, it was goal of the weekend. It was a great finish, and it made it 2-0. We got the 3 points. So I'm not sitting here, as I never have. I'm not sitting here cocky and arrogant and getting and all this. Nothing like that. You know, it wasn't a great performance. We need to be better. That's 2 games now, although it was kind of the reserves as such on Tuesday against Luton, but that's 2 games where we've not looked our best. We play Cardiff away next weekend, or the weekend coming up, sorry. And that's going to be a tough test. You know, they've had a great win, I say, against Nottingham Forest. You know, they've had a mixed start, one defeat, 1 win, but we've got to be on the ball. So it's going to be a tough game for Barnsley. Full credit to them. They came to the Medeski. They played really well. And actually, they can feel hard done by that they didn't take anything away from this game. But unfortunately, that's football. You have games where that happens. So that obviously leaves Reading top of the Championship on 6 points, along with Bristol City and Luton. 2 games. I'm not getting... It's 2 games in. So it's good, but it's 2 games in. Let's calm down. And for Barnsley, they are in 20th, but that's 2 defeats for them, so they're not going to be overly happy, but they are playing some decent football, and I'm sure they'll be okay. So, Rotherham nil, Millwall 1. Interesting. Millwall have scored in the 50th minute through Wallace to win that game. I think Millwall are definitely a decent side. They've got a lot going for them. Rotherham obviously had that good win last weekend, and then this weekend they've not got the result. So a little bit of an issue for them there. Rotherham obviously want to pick up more points. They've got 3, so it's not like they've got none. Millwall, as I say, that leaves them in 7th on 4 points, so that's 2 points per game, which is always good. For Rotherham, they are in 15th on 3 points, but again, it's a good start. So just rack up the points in these first few games. So 3 more games to go, guys. Sorry. We have Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0. What more would we say about that game? Well, we say Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0. Sheffield Wednesday have -8, and Watford are in the Championship. Watford are in 9th on 4, and Sheffield Wednesday are bottom, but -8, so that they're starting to shrink that gap quicker. And obviously, the quicker they can get to 0 and start getting points, the better. So that's Swansea 0, Birmingham 0. So let's be fair. Swansea 0, Birmingham 0. Birmingham are 6th on 4 points, and Swansea are 8th on 4 points. So that's all good. So the final game of this review, guys, is Stoke City 0, Bristol City 2. Bristol City find themselves 2nd, but technically joint top with Luton and Reading because they're on 6 points, all 3 of us. And that was Wells in the 45th minute, and Wellman or Vineman in the 89th minute. Please correct me in the comments. 89th minute for Bristol City, so that's a great win for them. Stoke, it's not the best result. So that leaves Stoke in 18th on 1 point, and it leaves, as I just said, it leaves Bristol City 2nd on 6 points, but technically joint top. It's 2 games in, so we'll share the top spot. So guys, that concludes this week's review video. I'm probably not going to be doing the predictions for the EFL trophy because of work, but I am going to focus on getting Friday's video up for the weekend's games. And yeah, there's some breaking transfer news as well for Reading fans. Rodriguez Riquelme, I believe his name is. The Atletico player has signed for Reading on loan. He's had his medical. So yeah, it's a great signing. And Lewis Gibson, I believe, from Everton will also be confirmed this week. So that's 2 good signings for Reading going forward. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Cheers to my team Reading for making me drink again. And guys, take care. Enjoy your week. See you soon.